he wrote me like what would be pages long of a text.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be looking at the most heartbreaking text messages celebrities sent in the days or moments leading up to their eventual demise.
We've gathered here to celebrate the life, the music, and the love of our dear friend, our bandmate, our brother, Taylor Hawkins.
Ryan Dunn. As one of the stars of MTV's Jackass, Ryan Dunn was known for his fearless stunts and outrageous antics. On June 20th, 2011, Dunn tragically lost his life after crashing his car into a tree on his way back home from a bar.
One of the actors who did stunts in the well-known Jackass movies has died.
The daredevil had been intoxicated, with a blood alcohol level more than double the legal limit. Perhaps no one was more devastated by Dunn's passing than his Jackass co-star and friend Bam Margera.
I've never lost anybody that I care about. It's my best friend.
Margera later disclosed to E! News that on the fatal night, he received a text from Dunn saying, "Stopping for a beer, be there when I can." Looking back, Margera says if he had the chance, he would have prevented his friend from driving that night. Nipsey Hussle. Although he wasn't a household name before his untimely death in 2019, Nipsey Hussle had already begun to gain national recognition.
I show no mercy on her. We was going back to back. We put a curfew on her.
The West Coast rapper had left behind a troubled past to become a community-focused artist, using his music to promote philanthropy and inspire young black men. Hussle's passing attracted international attention, with thousands showing up for his memorial service on April 11, 2019.
He inspired them in some way. They related to him in some way.
During the service, his mother, Angelique Smith, shared the last message she received from him, which read, "I'm grateful I have a studio again. I'm just happy and ready to work." Despite the tragic circumstances, Hussle will always be remembered for his efforts to combat the same type of violence that ultimately claimed his life.
And he says, "I'm grateful. I have a studio again. I'm just happy and ready to work."
Kim Jong-un. Millions of fans around the world were heartbroken when it was reported that K-pop singer Kim Jong-un had taken his own life on December 18, 2017.
Baby, I'm so lonely.
Despite an impressive career spanning nearly a decade, the lead vocalist of South Korean boy band SHINee appeared to grapple with the burdens of fame. Shortly before the tragic incident, Jong-un sent text messages to his sister pleading, "Please let me go, tell me I did well," and bidding a final farewell. The singer also reportedly left behind a note in which he talked about being overcome by depression and not being able to defeat it. Jong-un's death triggered conversation about the relentless demands of the music industry and its toll on mental health. Leslie Jordan. When you hear Bundle of Joy, the first image that comes to mind is Leslie Jordan.
I thought Walker, Texas Ranger got canceled years ago because of old age.
The beloved actor continued to bring smiles even after his demise on October 24, 2022.
Actor Leslie Jordan was killed after crashing his car into a building in Hollywood.
Max Greenfield, who appeared alongside Jordan on the revival of NBC's Will and Grace, shared the amusing final messages he received from the actor. Just 2 days before his passing, Jordan had been turned away from Greenfield's sold-out book signing. In a text, he hilariously remarked, "I tried to get in. I saw that you was so famous they wouldn't let me in." He then added, "They won't let me near you, superstar. That's what you are. Congratulations. I got to run or I would stalk you."
He was incredible, and he was exactly who you wanted him to be.
Cheslie Christ. An Emmy-nominated TV correspondent, lawyer, and Miss USA 2019, Cheslie Christ seemed to have it all. But underneath the surface, Christ dealt with what she described as the crushing weight of persistent sadness for years.
The tragic death of former Miss USA and extra correspondent Cheslie Christ.
Tragically, she took her own life on January 30th, 2022.
Her great light was one that inspired others around the world with her beauty and strength. She cared, she loved, she laughed, and she shined.
Chris' mother, April Simpkins, shared the heartbreaking details about her death on the Red Table Talk series.
"I love you, Mom, and you are my best friend and the person I've lived for years."
Simpkins read parts of Chris' final text to her. "I've wished for death for years, and I know you would want to know, but I haven't wanted to share this weight with anyone.
Regardless of that, thank you sincerely for being there for me."
She went on to thank Simpkins for being there in her darkest moments, concluding with, "I fought against depression for a long time, but it's won this time around." Taylor Hawkins. Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins dealt with substance use disorder for years. At one point, he slipped into a coma for 2 weeks after suffering an overdose. On March 25, 2022, Hawkins succumbed to cardiovascular collapse, which was likely linked to this persistent drug use.
This was the last known time he took to the stage.
Following his passing, 2 tribute concerts were held in late 2022.
We've gathered here to celebrate the life, the music, and the love of our dear friend, our bandmate, our brother, Taylor Hawkins.
Featuring performances from icons like Paul McCartney, Nile Rodgers, and Joan Jett. Additionally, Full House actor John Stamos shared the last text he received from Hawkins, in which the drummer expressed a desire to hang out before we die. By all indications, that opportunity sadly never materialized, serving as a stark reminder of just how short life is. Carolyn Flack.
I've got some very important news for you.
Known for hosting The X Factor and Love Island, British presenter Carolyn Flack made headlines in 2019 when she was charged with assaulting her boyfriend.
She stepped down from that role at the end of last year after she was charged with assaulting her partner.
Flack, who had dealt with mental health issues in the past, was harassed by the media and ultimately took her own life just weeks before her trial began.
Caroline loved Love Island. She loved love, and that's why tonight's final is dedicated to her.
Amid the shock and support that followed, British comedian Paddy McGuinness shared his last messages with Flack. In the screenshot, McGuinness checked in on her and offered reassurance, to which she replied, "Thanks for reaching out."
We've laughed with you, we've cried with you, but most of all, we've fallen in love with you.
Perhaps even more heartbreaking were those shared by Piers Morgan, in which Flack called the period of her trial in the public eye the worst time of my life. Bob Saget. Between 1987 and 1995, Bob Saget played Danny Tanner, the widowed father of 3 girls on the ABC sitcom Full House.
Cowabunga, dudes! I missed my little dudettes.
One of those girls was portrayed by Candace Cameron Bure, who maintained a relationship with Saget until his untimely demise in January 2022. 2 weeks prior, Saget and Bure seemingly had a disagreement over a canceled dinner plan.
I know next time you'll think things through a lot more carefully. Because you're a lot better than what I saw today.
Saget later texted heartfelt apologies to Bure for his crankiness.
He wrote me like what would be pages long of a text. He was apologizing, saying he was cranky and he was just so sorry. He said, "Oh, now I feel even worse. I was so wrong. You're like my favorite person on the earth."
Concluding his long message with, "I love you more for the trouble you're giving me, if that's even possible." Bure tearfully read this conversation from her phone on the Today Show. It's pretty heartwarming to think that the bond between Danny and DJ endured until the very end. Anthony Bourdain. When news broke that Anthony Bourdain had died by his own hand on June 8, 2018, many were puzzled as to what could have led up to it.
World-renowned chef, best-selling author, award-winning host of Parts Unknown, and our friend, Anthony Bourdain has died.
After all, Bourdain was a widely celebrated chef with multiple award-winning TV shows and best-selling books. In 2022, the unauthorized biography, Down and Out in Paradise, offered deeper insights on his state of mind in his final days. The book revealed texts Bourdain had sent to his ex-wife, saying, "I hate my fans too. I hate being famous. I hate my job. I am lonely and living in constant uncertainty." Bourdain's texts with his partner Asia Argento were also shared, some sent shortly before his death, which detailed the hurt he experienced over her alleged affair.
"Is there anything I can do?" he asked. "Stop busting my blank," Argento wrote. "Okay," Bourdain texted back.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Chadwick Boseman.
Did you think we would forget?
In 2016, Chadwick Boseman became world famous for his portrayal of the Marvel superhero Black Panther. Unfortunately, that same year, he was diagnosed with colon cancer, which he managed privately until it claimed his life on August 28, 2020.
Actor Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43 following a private 4-year battle with colon cancer.
Amazingly, in his final months, Boseman worked with Black Panther producer Nate Moore to fulfill the wishes of terminally ill children.
Nate said the final text he got from Chadwick was about just how powerful making someone's day can be. According to him, it read, "It broke me, man. but we need to do that for them.
Moore shared his last messages with Boseman, in which he remarked that people deserve abundant life, special moments. They've been through hell battling disease. Despite facing the same predicament, Boseman found solace in his ability to ease their suffering and bring joy for a moment to the kids. Indeed, Boseman was a superhero both on and off screen.
Wakanda forever! Wakanda forever!
What famous death are you yet to recover from? Let us know in the comments below.
A voice for the ages, gone, but never to be forgotten.